And we have a very special guest with us today, Coach Jake McDonald of the Orangefield High School basketball program. Thank you for taking some time out to join us, Coach.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having me.
So, before we talk about the Orangefield High School basketball program, let's talk a little bit about your past. Give us a little bit about your background in coaching.
Yes, sir. This will be going into my sixth season here at Orangefield. Prior to that, I was at Bridge City for one. I was an assistant, and then I was at Whole Days at a small 2A school out in the Liberty direction for 2 years. So I guess overall, I'm entering my ninth season overall, and I guess my seventh as a head coach.
So, did you play high school basketball, or was this something you got into after high school?
Say that again.
So you played basketball in high school, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is like one question I've always had for coaches, and it's been something that's been interesting to me. Was there a point in your life that you decided that, yes, I want to coach high school basketball, or I just want to be a coach in general?
Yes, I would say just athletics in general, like basketball, baseball, have been such a big part of my life. Then I guess as you start to get older and you get to college and you have to figure out what you want to do, for a so-called career or job, you have to find something that you like or that you're passionate about. So I guess, once I got to at Texas A&M is where I got my my degree from. You have to start making some decisions, and I wanted to do something that I loved and that I was passionate about. So that would be how I, chose the coaching route.
And when you were either in high school, when you got to college, is there coaches or one particular coach that just stands out that you like was an inspiration for how you conduct yourself as a coach, or just how you view life in general?
Yes, I would say my high school basketball coach, his name was John Krager, was his name. He was the most prepared and passionate human being I've probably ever been around. And I would say that how prepared he was and how passionate he was, I guess, has inspired me some to, kind of be the way I am, I guess, as a coach.
And suppose you had like a younger kid, like a junior high kid, or even that is interested in playing basketball, varsity, junior varsity, when he gets to the high school, and he asked you what I needed to do to be ready for the team. What would be some advice you'd give him?
I mean, I guess from a physical skill standpoint, I would say that make sure that as you get into high school that you have a pretty good grasp of the fundamentals, be as skilled as possible, ball handling, shooting, decision making, all those things. And then from a mental standpoint, I would just say that understand that it's a process, that maybe understand that it's going to take some time to get to that varsity level, and be ready for the ups and downs, and be able to keep a positive attitude, and be able to work hard in whatever team you're on. If basketball or any sport in general is something that you want to do as you move forward in your high school career.
And kind of like building off of that question, if you had one of your varsity players come to you and say, Coach, you really inspired me, and I want to coach as a future, I want to be a basketball coach, what would be some things you'd say, hey, this is what you need to be prepared for? Like, this is some stuff you need to be looking at.
Yes. And that does happen probably once or twice a year. A kid or a former player does ask that. I would just say that there's more to it than meets the eye, in a sense that you have to be able to build relationships with players, students, coworkers, other coaches, and you have to be willing to, kind of maybe do some things that maybe aren't your favorite, but you have to do those things, especially early on, to build those relationships and give yourself the opportunity to end up or coach whatever it is that you want to coach, or whatever you want to do.
So high school basketball just started its practicing. So, and how does it, just like for gut feeling, how does your team look this year, or what are your feelings about them?
Yes, sir. And there's kind of a lot to that question, because our football team is playing for a district championship tonight, and we have maybe 6 varsity players and probably at least that on our sub-varsity teams that are part of that. So we are a little light with what we have right now, and by light I just mean in numbers. We still have some really talented guys. It's not a whole lot of us right now, but as far as the season goes, once we get all of our pieces together and in the gym at the same time, I think this is not probably the most experienced team that I've ever had in 6 years here. We bring back 8 players off last year's team who won 25 games, and of those 8, 4 of them were starters. So we're bringing back a very experienced team. We did graduate one really, really good player in Peyton Wrinkle, but as a whole, we're bringing a lot back, and we dropped down a classification, which, that district we're moving into is really, really tough, with East Chambers, Koontz, Buna, Anahuac. But I do think it allows us to potentially make a run if things go our way and we stay healthy and kind of do what we've always done and get better throughout the year.
So you should probably have like a scrimmage or something coming up soon. What's your first scrimmage and what's your first game of the season?
Correct. We scrimmage Bridge City and Hardin Jefferson on Saturday at Bridge City, and then we host Lumberton for a scrimmage next Tuesday, November the 8th, and then not this Saturday, but next November the 12th, we play on the road at Onalaska, up near Livingston area.
And for people in the community, what are some things that they could do to get behind or support the basketball team for this season?
I would say come to some games. And support these guys, and do it often. A lot of times it seems like, we always get great crowds at the end of the year or, when it's a rivalry game. But I think the team we have, the team that we're going to put on the floor, I think deserves support every night. And I think that when they do come, they'll enjoy the product that we're going to put on the floor. And also in this new 3A district, the girls and the boys are at the same site. So you would really be able to catch, the varsity girls and the varsity boys together on the same nights more times than not. And, it's just a better environment when we have a lot of people in the stands supporting our guys.
And one final question, without putting you on the spot, without having you to pick favorite teams or players or anything like that, is there a game, whether as a player or as a coach, that's just like, like when you think back to fond memories or just excitement, is there like one game that kind of sticks out in your mind?
Yes, I would say one as a player. I had the opportunity to play in the state championship in 2006. And then as a coach, I would say in 2019, we won 2 playoff games and were able to get to the third round. And I would say that playoff win in round 2 over Van Vleck, that one really sticks out. It's just a really, really big win for our team, our program, and our community.
Well, folks, let's see. That was Coach McDonald with Orangefield High School. Exciting season coming up. So if you have a chance to get out to one of their games, give them some support. You won't be disappointed. And, Coach, the best of luck this season. And you're welcome to come back on anytime and talk about your team.
Yes, sir. I really appreciate it. This was really cool. I would love to be back.